Welcome to Cat Butt. We'll be playing Cat Ass today.
Bienvenidos a Cat Butt.
Whoa! So, can you stop playing with the microphone? He loves everything about it. I don't know why. Now that it hangs over the table, he's just like, ooh, I can speak in the mic. And apparently he wants to use your phone. And
do you want to play some words with friends?
Meow. You need to get away from the alcohol. And
or maybe he wants to be a little drunk cat.
he likes Jameson, which is terrifying because... Do you remember that post from 2 years ago? Like, he was only a year old. And I had some friends over who were drinking Jameson, and he hopped up and just started drinking it. It was awful.
Probably gonna get way overstimulated. Both of us keep petting him.
Yeah, he's eventually gonna have to move because cards need to go where his butt is. Like, he's just napping. What we're actually playing is Lords of Vegas. And apparently there's a giant cat, you know, because...
Tokyo has Godzilla, Las Vegas has Toby.
Yeah. Who's going nuts? Did you notice, like, he was flipping... He must smell something that he likes. And I'm pretty sure it's that hard iced tea. Look at it.
You like
He's
the blueberry?
Like,
huh?
Can you stop? Nope, he smells your cat. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's like huffing you.
Get down. Or not.
That
did not work.
Did not help. Well, okay, so we'll move him in a second. Let's roll off to see who goes first. And we'll pick our colors, and then we'll finish. We'll have to move the cat, and then we'll finish the setup. Haha, 14. Can you see it past the butt?
13.
Roll 12.
13.
Board a tie.
14.
Wow.
So
it's a tie.
roll off. So 13 versus 14. 12.
Come on, 12.
It was 13.
I was all, I know.
All right, so that means I get to pick my color first, and I'm picking purple because. So Beth, we've got green, yellow, black, red, and blue. Blue? Is that what you said? Okay. Remaining
You don't even
colors.
have like cat eyes. You have like dragon eyes.
He really does.
Hi.
Yeah, he's got very amber. I like Patty's eyes though, because her eyes are both blue and green. What,
Are you blacking and bluing?
what color would you like?
Ooh.
Or absence of color, if you want black.
I will go with absence of color.
Here we go. And I'm assuming you want green.
Yes.
The color of money. That's perfect.
Yes.
So I figured, Beth, you wouldn't mind being the banker. You can arrange that however you want. I'm just going to differentiate the stuff for you. This is your score, the poker chip. The really cheapy poker chip. I'm not going to say it that way. It's not a legit poker chip. Let me say it that way. The poker chip is your score tracker. This is the score track, what Toby's lying on. You won't put your chip on there until you actually earn your first point. But these other little things that kind of look like chips, these tokens are how you designate which lots you own. And we're going to show our starting lots in just a moment. And the dice are what you're going to use when you build your casinos. It shows your influence in those casinos. It's actually very similar to some of the other games that we have, like Euphoria, where dice, the pips represent your intelligence.
Okay.
The pips in here represent your influence, how much control. So if there may be instances where we create a casino where two of us are managing that casino, essentially. The person who has the highest pips, the die with the highest pips in that casino, is the boss of that casino. They're the ones that earn points for that casino.
That makes sense.
So that's what these dice represent. And they'll be moving around a lot. And if you run out of dice, then you have to either sacrifice a casino to build a new one. You know, there's lots of kind of resource management in this game.
Okay.
So now we need to move... Oh, I guess I start out with this. This is not the player one token per se. It is the current player token.
Okay.
You can choose the white side or the black side. Doesn't matter. But essentially, this is just so we know whose turn it is, because there are things that we can do that you can do on other people's turns and that kind of thing. And so that's how we keep track. So as soon as my turn is done, I'll pass it to Beth, and we'll just hand the card around.
Makes sense.
So show mascot. I know you're comfortable, but and you're cute. We love you. And there are probably two people on the YouTube channel who like you, but you have to leave now. I love how he's just falling asleep. He's like, nope. Oh. All right, honey, come on. I don't want to knock the camera. That's the only downside from where I am, but I don't want you to get scratched either. All right, Toads.
Like that.
Like that. He gets nervous. All right,
There
go
you
down,
go.
honey.
Get down.
Easy.
Go.
It was a worthy sacrifice. Yeah, that's the whole thing. He scratches, and then he immediately is like, "Oh, I need to get down and not."
Yeah, he actually feels bad about it. He doesn't. He scratches if he gets overstimulated, and he'll scratch if he gets scared by something. But he regrets it almost immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
He's done the whole scratch and lick thing where I'll pet him, and I'm not paying attention to his tail, and he'll just scratch me, and then he feels bad, and he licks it. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but you're a jerk.
Yeah.
All right, so these 2 cards that are flipped over, we're gonna start our strip with these, or we're gonna start our casinos with these. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your chips and you're going to look at the location. And also these cards all have this. This is our starting cash. It won't be used for anything else in the game. So when you draw other cards that have it, you don't pay attention to it really, to be honest. But we're going to look at our locations, and they're all designated by letters. So for example, E3 is one of mine, so I will put that there. It also, the die shows you what the die value, your starting die value is for there if you build a casino, and it just makes it easier to find the space, really. And then B6, oh good grief, can you put me up there? So those are my 2 starting areas. Ooh, she's going to be the boss of that one.
So we put the tiddlywinks.
Yeah. These are your quote-unquote lots. You own these lots. You may not necessarily own the casino that winds up there, but you own the lot.
Makes sense.
And these lots will pay you money.
So I have both of mine are in Tivoli. E4 and C11.
Okay. Perfect.
F6, F4.
And then we can put our starting our score tokens in here to start, and then we will move them as we earn points. So these are our starting locations while we're kind of all in here, except for my one way up the top. And this is also our starting cash. So if you look, I'm going to start with 11 money.
I'm going to start with 14 monies.
Thank you. And it's technically millions of dollars. So
14 million monies.
14 million monies. Wow.
millions and millions. And this thing isn't flashing.
14 million?
Solid red,
14.
right?
Also take
It is solid.
Okay.
Anyone watching us, if you can't hear us, let us know.
They usually do, but I try to.
You won't hear me say that. Elvis is on our money.
Thank you.
Elvis,
So you know it's real.
Elvis is on the 10. Sammy Davis Jr. is on the 20. Frank Sinatra's on the 5. And good old Dino is on the 1.
Nice.
Figures.
Awesome.
Now, what these cards are going to do is we're going to put them in. We'll have Ian do this eventually, but you're going to put them in the right color.
Okay.
And that shows us these colors are already out. And you want to lay them, you want to spread them out. They're actually going to come towards you, Ian.
Okay.
You don't have to spread them out too
like
much, just
how-
enough so we can count them. So, like, just
Okay,
make sure
so
the
just-
title
just-
shows. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to kind of spread their way towards you. That's why there's so much space there.
Fair enough.
There are a limited number of these colors, and it's going to make a lot more sense once I explain the rules why that's important.
Okay.
But it will determine which casinos you buy. These tiles right here are your casinos. There are 9 of each color.
Okay.
So once you run out of a color, if you want to increase the size of that casino, you will not be able to. You can, however, reorganize and change the color. What are you doing?
Makes sense.
I'm matching them.
Oh,
Because I am.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
that's okay. I was like, what's happening?
Are you missing a casino type? Or is the strip doesn't
The
count as a
strip,
casino?
what happens is there are 4 of those cards.
These are the casinos on the strip.
Right.
And yeah, so there's times where you're going to get paid for casinos specifically, and there are times where you will get paid for just casinos that are on the strip.
Okay.
This is the strip, obviously.
Right.
And it's casinos bordering the strip.
Right. Okay.
So if you don't have a build there, if you have just a lot, you'll get paid for the lot, but you won't get much more than that.
Right.
So
You won't get a lot.
So during the turn, you have 2 different things that you're going to do. You draw and you play. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a card. And once you draw that card, you're going to take over that lot. If there is a casino there because somebody sprawled and made their casino larger, there's a risk to sprawling, but it's a great way to get points. But if you then take over the lot, you own that casino. So you take their die out and you put yours in. When you do that, you will, whenever you build a casino, you're going to, and I'll explain this in more detail, but whenever you build a casino, you're going to place the die inside under the pit value. That is the starting pit value. So this would be a 3 if I built a casino here. If I had this casino here and Beth then owned the lot, she would take my die out and start at 3. She would put that in there. There are times where you won't start at the starting value when you place a die in there, and that's typically when you're trading with someone. So that can happen. But you take over your lot. You now own that lot, or the casino, in the case of taking over somebody who had sprawled. Then the owned lots pay. They pay $1 million or $1 for every owned lot. So when we draw the card, we're all going to make some money. It doesn't matter where they are on the board. You just make money for them. Then the casinos pay. And the way that works is when you draw the card, it's going to be the color of the card. So that's why this becomes important. So if you notice there's a ton of brown, you may not want to build another brown one because the likelihood of a brown card being drawn is less likely. So you want more money. So you want to look at it that way. But you also want to look at what's on the board and build bigger casinos by matching colors.
Makes sense.
So there's kind of like a little bit of play there.
Okay.
When you draw the card, the casinos of that color will pay their owners.
Okay.
And they will pay $1 for each pip. So for example, if Beth had a purple casino here, she would be at 6. If we draw a purple card, she would get 6 money for that. And it's for each tile that's in the casino. So if she had 2 tiles, she would get paid for both of them.
Makes sense. And each one of those big blocks is a casino, technically, right?
Yes, each one of these tiles is a casino.
Okay.
Now, if I also had a purple, let's say we both had purple, we each get paid for our individual casinos. So it doesn't mean she would get paid for mine as well. She would only get paid for the ones that have her dice in them.
Okay.
So if she had 2 purple here and I had a purple there, she'd get paid for these 2. She would not get paid for that.
Okay.
However, when points are awarded, she will be the one gaining the points because she is the boss of that casino. So if I have purple and she has purple, we are one casino. We're just managing our areas separately, which is why we each manage our own money. But she essentially owns the whole building.
We're individual pit bosses of our own areas, but we're not. But there's still a overarching.
She is the
owner.
overall owner of the casino or boss of that casino. She would get the points.
That makes sense to me.
So. You get 1 point for each tile that's in the casino. That doesn't matter much right now, but it's going to make more sense when we talk about the point breakers. And you can see them on the board. There will never be a runaway leader in this game. It's actually impossible. The way the game's set, it's actually pretty cool. The other thing to talk about is when you pay the strip, it doesn't have a color. It looks just like that. It's like a red with the symbols on it. And that means regardless of the color, all casinos bordering the strip will pay their owners.
Okay.
No points are earned during that because there's no color, but you'll make money from everything on the strip. And if you notice, the strip dice are high value, so that's also another reason why that card's really nice. It comes out 4 times in the game. It comes out up to 4 times in the game. There are some cards on the bottom that we will never see because there is an end of game card that will pop up before they come out. And as soon as that happens, it's done. The game is over, and we just pay. I forgot what color the card is, but we pay the casinos based on that and the lots and all that, and that's it. The game will end after that. So when you score, so when the casino gives you your points, you get 1 point for each one. So let's say Beth and I each have just 1 of that color, we get 1 point. So we each would move up the track. When you get up to here, you're going to notice these breakers. It's 2 points initially, and it gets higher as it goes. Once you get to the 8 spot, you need to earn 2 points to move up.
Okay.
So that's why it goes from 8 to 10 and 10 to 12. You need to have 2 points. So if you don't have linked casinos, if you have just individual casinos, you will sit there until you have linked casinos.
Okay.
As your points go higher, you need 3 to move up.
Explains why it's limited. Why people can't just jump super
Yes.
fast.
You can't fly ahead. You will have to actually strategize, and you're going to have to make deals with other players sometimes. So be aware. That's what these point breakers are. It's to prevent the runaway leader. It also encourages certain types of play that are more risky, like sprawling, which is risky, but it's a great way to get past a point breaker. So just be aware. You could be stuck at 8 for a while. I've been there. I think actually the last time we played it was Ashley and Sue that were really the only contenders in that game. And then Aaron kind of threw the game so that Sue could win.
Yeah.
Which he'll do if he can't win. He will pick a player and be like, I think you should win today. But I remember you started out really slow and then just went crazy because we were using the up rolls and you just built. Remember those huge casinos you built? But we won't be using the up rules because we're only playing with 4 players. We're going to use the regular rules, so our casinos will be flat.
Which is not something you usually see in Vegas.
Yeah, right. Once step 1 has been done, once you've earned any potential points, people have been paid, that card gets discarded and we'll give it to Ian and he'll put it in those rows. Then we play. Now you have a card here that will show you all the steps of play. I'm going to explain them as well, so that folks watching will know what the heck we're doing. But you can build, sprawl, remodel, reorganize, or gamble. You can do some of these things more than once. And you can do them in any order. I think the only thing you can't do, gamble. You can only do gamble once during your turn, but you can do the other stuff multiple times. Sometimes the result of gambling may cause you to want to do something you've already done again, because now you have money. Or you don't have money, depending on the results. I'll talk about gamble first, because that's the easiest one to talk about. You have to go to an existing casino, so you give this to the boss of an existing casino.
Okay.
And it's also here too, but you basically give this to them to show that you're gambling with them. And then you make a wager. You cannot wager more money than you have, and you cannot wager more money than the casino has. So if I go against Beth, the most I can wager is 11, because I have 11, she has 11, or 12. But the most I can wager is 11. I don't have to wager that much. I could wager 1. Or maybe I just need a little extra cash. Once I wager, I'm going to roll 2 dice. She doesn't have to roll anything. I just roll 2 dice. If I get a 3, 4, 9, 10, or 11, these are the craps rolls, basically.
Right.
If I get 3, 4, 9, 10, or 11, I win. And she pays me whatever I wagered.
Yeah.
If I get a 2 or a 12, she has to pay me double if she can. If she can't, she just pays me as much as she can.
Okay.
If I roll anything else, like a 5 or an 8, I have to pay her.
What you wagered?
Huh? Yeah, whatever I wager. So if I wager 11, I pay you 11. Which is why I cannot wager more than I have, because I have to be able to pay you. So that's basically how that works. Okay. If you look at the law of averages, the house has like a 5% upper chance to win. So it's not, the odds are actually pretty good, but they are in whoever's favor, whoever is running the casino. It doesn't seem so.
The odds are in the house's favor. But I mean, this is Vegas.
But not by much, though, when you think about it. So there's, it's. I think it's done very well. The other thing that you can do is you can build, and when you do that, you place a tile of a color of your choice on a lot that you own by paying the construction cost on that lot. So if Beth wants to build here, it's going to cost her $20 million.
Wow.
It's on the strip. It's very expensive on the strip. But if she builds there, she pays the $20 million. She picks what color, so she's going to base that maybe on colors that are already out, or she might base it on, right now it's pretty even. Wow, that's really surprising. It's literally as even as it could be. But, she's going to pick a color. The color doesn't matter so much right now. Really, all it matters is for adjoining spaces, cards that are out there. Eventually, as you run lower or you run out of these, then color matters. So just be aware. You remove your player marker, you choose your tile, you play it, you place your die inside on the pit value that's on the board. That is building. You can also choose to sprawl, and when you do that, you're expanding into a lot that you do not own. It's very risky, but it's a way to make your casino bigger. So if Beth, for example, had built this on one turn and she has tons of money, and she wants to sprawl, and you don't have to do it on the same turn, you can do it on any turn, she would pick the same color. So you can't sprawl if the same color is not available. That's where colors become important. But let's say she had brown here, and she wants to sprawl. She has to pay double the value of the lot she doesn't own. Then she picks the same color if it's available. If it's not available, she can't sprawl. She'll place that there, and then she'll place her die in there She doesn't own it, so there's a risk. If somebody draws that card, they will take her casino from her.
Oh.
So that's the risk. But then again, you can grab yourself a couple points, get past Point Breaker. You may be the one who draws the card.
and so we just gain the lots when we draw the cards.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I
You
thought.
don't have to
but I
buy
was
them.
making sure.
You only have to buy to build on those lots,
Right.
and it's expensive. So.
Right.
But owning the lots, you just kind of make money from having them, I guess. But that's what sprawling is. The other thing you can do is remodel. And what you do is you choose a color with enough tiles available to fit your casino. So if you have 4 tiles in your casino, you have to get 4. There has to be 4 available tiles in the color that you want to change to. You have to replace all of the casino's tiles. So in the case where I was talking about us having 3 purple, if Beth wants to change it to silver, she has to change mine too, because I am part of her casino.
Right.
So you have to change everything that's connected. And casinos are only a legit casino if they're connected by one full side. So that would be a casino. This is not part of that casino, even though it's the same color until we fill in here.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
So if she wants to change her color to gold, she can do that without having to touch this tile.
Makes sense.
Eventually, though, you might have like
Would it
a
stay
mega-
part of... If I then got this one, would that become part of mine?
No,
Or
it would
because
stay
it's the wrong
brown.
color.
You would have to find a way to convince... If I was the owner of that, you would have to convince me to change that color, which you could do. You can trade me money to do that. You can even... People will sometimes give up their casino, depending on the reason for it. You maybe you need a die and be like, hey, I need to pull this die. Does anybody want this casino? I will sell it for $2 million or whatever, however you want to do it. And that is one of the things that you can do is you can trade you can trade almost anything. I'll talk about the trades last, but you can trade almost anything in this game. You can even trade your actions.
Okay.
People can't take the action for you because you're not allowed to take another person's action when it's not your turn.
Yeah.
But what they can do is say, well, what do you want me to do? I have the following actions that I'm willing to take. I need this money. And Beth might at that point be like, you know what, you need that money? I'll give it to you if you change that color, if you remodel. Like maybe, you know what I mean? She might, those are ways you trade in action.
Oh, I see. So basically, it's like I need this to be done.
Yes.
So you do this, I do this for you.
Correct.
Instead, basically. Okay.
And you can only trade
trade
actions
favors,
during your turn. You cannot trade a future action.
Right.
So you can't say, on my next turn, I'll do this. You can say, on my turn right now, I will do this for you. So if there's things you want me to do, and I'm looking to trade with somebody for something, maybe you don't like what I'm offering in trade, but you might say, well, actually do this as one of your actions instead, and I'll trade you. You can do it that way. And we'll talk a little bit more about trade in a sec. But with remodeling, what you have to do is you have to pay $5 million or $5 for each tile that you're changing. So it's expensive.
Yeah.
Especially after paying $20 million to get the stupid thing in the first place.
Depending on
It might
the
still be
game,
worth
though,
it.
it might be worth doing,
Sure, it would
depending
be.
on kind of the
They wouldn't
turnout of the
have
tiles. Sometimes there's nothing else that you can do. You have to do that.
Right.
If you want to continue to earn points. But bear in mind, if you're changing a big casino, you've probably made quite a bit of money from it. So hopefully
yeah.
you have some left to be able to do that remodel if you need to. But that's what remodeling is. You can also reorganize. And when you reorganize, you force a reroll of all of the dice in the casino. That can be risky for you, but if you're the lowest person, it's worth it to do that. Because in the case of here, where maybe I want to be boss, and I can say, all right, you know what? Let's reroll the dice. Beth will take her dice out and reroll them. I'll take mine and reroll them, and then you live with the consequences.
Now, do we re-roll them all together, or do we re-roll them one at a time?
One at a time. You can re-roll them together if you want. You don't assign them until after you've re-rolled everything.
Oh, okay.
So if I rolled like a 6 and a 2,
You can pick which one goes where.
yes.
Okay. That's
So,
what I was trying. I was just
yeah,
making sure.
I'm going to want the 6 to be on the strip.
Right.
Because that's going to give me more money.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get a 6 and become the boss, but that might not happen. And I could end up with a lower roll. So if I had the 5 here and I did the roll and I got a 2, I'm making crap all on the strip.
Right.
A die can only
What would
be...
happen if we re-rolled and I rolled like 2 6s?
We'll talk about that. That's a whole other thing, because if we all rolled 6s,
Yeah.
that's an issue. There will be a forced reroll at the end of the turn. Not during the turn, but at the end of the turn. But for... I lost track of what I was going to say. A die can only be rolled once during a reorganize. And what that means is... because you can reorganize multiple times, so maybe I do the roll here and we roll these dice. And then I choose to change the color of the tiles and it makes it worth it to try to reorganize again for the other dice, I can do that. I can re-roll the other dice, but I cannot re-roll the die I already rolled, and you would not be forced to re-roll yours either. You might want to, but you can't. A die can only be rolled once during a reorganize. Does that kind of make sense? Mm-hmm. Because there are instances where you might build up the casino again and be like, I want to reorganize that die because I don't like that one. You can. You just can't continuously re-roll these dice. Although we would be forced to if we all had 6s. So if I had a 6 here and then you had a 6 there and a 6 there, can't have it. If you're the boss, it doesn't matter. You can keep the 6. It's only if 2 opposing players are tied for boss. So if you're tied with lower numbers, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. If you're tied for boss, then you have to re-roll. And you only re-roll the tie dice. So in the case of you, if we all had 6s, you would have to roll both of your 6s. Because we're tied for boss. You would roll your 6s, I would roll mine, and then whatever happens. And you just keep on going until there's no longer a tie. If, however, you reorganize and you wind up with 2 6s, and nobody else has a 6, you get to keep your 2 6s. You don't have to reroll tiebreakers against yourself. You're the boss. You can just be a bigger boss. You get to keep that money that you would be earning. It's only when it's an opposing player that you're forced. Does that kind of make sense as far as rerolls? And then I think that's it for reorganizing. And then we already talked about gambling. Mm-hmm. And then I do want to real quick talk about trading, and that's the last thing we need to talk about before we can start. You can trade any combination of money. You can trade lots.
Sorry, is the board supposed to look angly?
It's because it's not flat, and the camera.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get it.
And the camera also, because of the attachment that we're using to get it to stick to the microphone stand, it's not completely. It's slightly slanted.
Okay, no, I just was making sure we weren't like off or something.
No, it drives me nuts because the bottom is perfect and the top is not, so it makes it look like the board's been cut, and it's been doing that for every game since I put it was worse when we had the rubber bands.
I think this one is probably just more noticeable because it has
is
the
more
same
noticeable
thing
too
on
because
each end.
any board that isn't completely flat is even more noticeable too.
Yeah.
But yeah, my OCD goes nuts. I look at that and I'm like, I want to move the camera constantly. One day we'll have a better camera and we'll have a totally different stand. But right now with the webcam, we have to deal. Okay. So you can trade lots, dice that are in casinos. So in the case of I need to free up a die, I might pick a casino that I don't want anymore. I'll be like, hey, does somebody want this casino? I'll sell it to you for a couple mil, or you can do it that way. Or you can ask, and if people say no, you can pull that die out, and it just remains empty until somebody else fills that lot.
All right.
Which can happen. If you own the lot, though, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Actually, it will matter. I'm sorry. If, for example, I'm going to put this down here. Let's say I had this die in here, and I got this through a lot that I owned. Okay. Right? I built on a lot that I owned. And I need this die for something. So I'm like, gone. It's now empty. That pays me nothing, and the lot pays me nothing.
Okay.
Because I don't own it anymore. I built the casino and then I left. I abandoned it. Okay. So now it means nothing to me. It doesn't earn me any money. And because I've already drawn the card, I'm not going to gain that lot later. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't think you get to go back. Like, I think if you give it up, you're screwed. So you get.
Unless are you allowed? Oh, right, because the only way you can put a die in there is if it gets drawn.
Yeah, and it doesn't. So, yeah, once you build, it doesn't say you can go back and pay again to rebuild. It's just done, unless somebody gets the lot, which they can't because nobody owns it. It's literally an abandoned lot.
Technically, could you do it if you sprawled? If that was empty, like could you sprawl into the space?
Somebody could sprawl into that space.
A second tile and put their die in.
If you abandon it and somebody's building a casino here, it's perfect for them because they'll be like, I'm not trading with you because you're just going to leave it anyway, and then I'll sprawl, and then you'll never get it back because you can't draw the card. So,
but can you if you already have a block in there?
It just says you add a tile and put a die on, so. You just have to put on the same tile as the color. So the only way it wouldn't work is the only reason why it wouldn't work is if you didn't have enough of the same color tile.
Yep. That could work. You could do that.
If the rest of mine was green and you had that red, could I just put another green on top?
No, you'd put a red.
No, you'd have to change your color.
You'd
have
to change your color.
It's an existing building. They won't let you knock the building down.
That's what I want.
Until you own it. So you'd have to sprawl first. So you'd have to change your color. That'd be a pain in the butt.
Not necessarily not doable, but...
Yeah, depending on what you need for points. It could definitely be worth it. I'm trying to think. There's something you can't trade. You can't trade future actions. And let me see.
The future isn't guaranteed.
Exactly. And if you trade a die, so for example, let's say I had a 6 here and I traded that. When you place your die into that casino, you place it at 6. You get the value that I last had, not the starting value.
Okay.
So that's also kind of nice. Oh, you can't trade points and you can't trade casino tiles.
Okay.
You can't trade promises of actions. You cannot promise future exchanges. Everything has to be happen during the turn. During that turn, and then once we draw the end of game card, the game ends immediately. You make the final payout, which is the strip for the owned and for own lots, and then we look to see who has the most points. If there is a tie for most points, the player with the most money wins. You can also win immediately if you get to 90 points, which, according to the designers of the game, it's never, ever, ever happened, but it could.
Considering you need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, if people are playing really badly, I guess you could get to 90, but yeah, no, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, you said that, now you jinxed us, and now
I know.
It takes 6 hours when we get to 90 to win.
Yup, that's All right, so I will go first since I have the first player card, well, the current player card, and I am in Tivoli, so F2, which is right there. And now the first thing that happens is, well, we don't have any casinos, so we won't be earning points or money for that, so we'll earn points for existing lots. So I will get 3 million, and everybody else should get 2.
So they just pay out because we have lots, period.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. That gets discarded to the Tivoli.
Yep.
And do I have enough money to build anything? And do I want to build anything?
Are you going to build the future?
I'm thinking about it. I'm just trying to decide where. I'm gonna do... Alright, I am going to buy... Doesn't really matter what color, I guess, right now. I don't necessarily want silver, though. I'm gonna start with gold. And I'm gonna pay 12 million. I'm gonna put it up there in B6. And what's the... Well, I need the gold thingy. That's a 4? Okay.
It's a 4. I was about to ask you what we do with the little thingies.
Yep. Tempted to reorganize, but I think I'm gonna...
So the die, when you build, the die starts at whatever the number is on the bottom.
It starts at whatever's on the board.
Just clarifying for myself and the viewers.
Yes. And that is all I'm going to do. So I will pass that to Beth, and she will draw her first card.
Yay! Alright. Ooh, another Sphinx. Okay, so A4.
Sphinx.
Oh.
Yes.
It's an Adventure Brothers joke.
So the lots pay money, and the casinos pay money. So I will get 1, 2, 6 money. Because it's gold, so that could have been better.
So you get 4?
Yep, 4, and then
5
2
and 6.
for those.
So you guys get 2, 2.
And I will get 1 point.
And so now I get 3 because I have 3 lots.
Yep.
Alright.
You have lots and lots of lots.
I have lots. No,
Lots of lots.
we don't have lots of lots. Well, okay, I have more lots than anybody else, but that's only because we just started.
Of the lost. Don't copyright strike us. I changed a word. That counts, right?
And not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure we haven't violated fair use rules for anything.
I don't think we have.
It's not like we use a whole song ever. It's always
And we're not
oh,
really making money from this show.
No.
Okay, so
We'll
I'm gonna
eventually make
build,
$12 off of the YouTube, hopefully, to pay
I'm
for
gonna
this
build here
camera.
for 12 million.
Okay.
So I get a 4 as well.
And honestly, worst case scenario, we have to mute a section of our podcast.
With Twitch, it's not that bad. It's only if it's like a certain amount of time. I think it's like 3 minutes or something like that. But if we were, for example, if I were playing Beatles in the background or something, what they do is they mute your show. Oh, you literally just have no sound all of a sudden until you wise up and stop that crap.
All right, card, please.
Oh yes, sorry. I'm being derelict.
Tivoli, because that's super popular these days. So that's 3. So F9 is mine. So
yep.
F9.
F9. Whoops. I'm not too well. Sorry.
All right. So I get 3, and everybody else gets 2. Or no, you get 3 as well.
No, you get 3. You get 2.
And I get 2.
You get 2
because it's not our color. So right. You get 2 and I get 2.
Yep.
Oh right, because you didn't. Yeah.
Because I built, so I don't have a lot anymore.
You only have a little. All right. Let's see. I have monies.
Now you have monies.
Can I do things with my monies?
You can do things with your monies.
Why is that one at 12 million? It's like in the back corner. No one will ever go there.
Well, you got a 9 million.
It's because it's a 4. That's why. I think that part of the like C6s, 6 million for 2. You're only going to get 2 money from it every time. So
right.
It's just a crappy part of the lot.
Yeah. Well, mine is a 1, and they want me to pay 8 million to build.
Like if you're on Monte Carlo, you don't get nothing. But if you're on Tropicana Ave. If you like orange juice, you get money.
You can tell this is old Rat Pack's days, Vegas. It only goes to Tropicana and the Sands.
It literally is like the old. It's supposed to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dean. It's the Rat Pack. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra.
I'm gonna be
Elvis isn't part of the Rat Pack, but
Elvis was in Vegas.
Yes, but Elvis was in Vegas later.
What's the actual die underneath the 6 million?
Under which one?
C11.
It's a 2.
2. Okay.
It's only 6 million.
Right.
You got 9 million for the 3.
So 10. I have 21.
Damn.
Yeah, you started with more than me. And then you. Than us.
But I have 20. Hold on. 10.
It's the benefit of going later, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can start off a little bit stronger.
Well,
you gotta have something for going later.
Let's. I can build more than once, right?
Yeah, you can build as many times. The only thing you can't do more than once a turn is gamble.
Okay. Then that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually, I might regret doing this, but I'm going to spend every last penny that I have because I'm building.
He's Donald Trump.
They are all orange.
So I'm going to build a purple on C11.
Okay.
And that'll be a 2.
That was your 6 million?
And then... Oh, no, wait, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not building it on the C11. Because 21 is the 12 and the 9, not the 6 and the 9.
Okay.
So,
still purple?
Yes, so purple is... yeah, so still purple. So
smart, because nothing
put his
come out for purple.
His thing back here.
Yeah, here, so yeah.
He's not
building anything there at all? Okay.
And then I will put a... Let's go with a green on F9.
That's a 3.
That's a 3.
And that's 12. And that was 9. Yep.
And I believe that means it's your turn.
Yep. There you go. Aw.
Damn. You know, I should have done red.
So C4.
Or brown, I guess.
You gotta put one here.
So you get to go here. That's a 2 for...
You're feeling very explosive today. C4.
Oh, jeez.
So you get 2, and I get 2, and you get 1.
I get 1.
And you get 3.
I guess I'm gonna do that with 15.
Well, you can't build here because you don't have that lot.
Where you have.
You can build the 12 though.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You have to build before you can sprawl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll buy the 12th then.
What color?
Red.
You mean brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks red.
It does.
It's like clay brown.
It's like a brick. It's a brick casino.
Okay, it's
a bricino.
So I'll put a 4 in here.
Yep. 2 Deans and a Elvis. Want to build anything else? You can sprawl now if you want to spend
30
million. Yeah.
30 mil, yeah.
30 mil for that one or 40 mil for the other one.
Yeah, so
Can I trade some for 5?
Sure. Could do the same thing.
Maybe.
If she gets a sure, I get a maybe. What's that about?
Okay, I'll let you.
Want to gamble in any of the casinos? You don't have to. It's way early in the game. You might not want to, but I'm just saying you can.
There are casinos.
All right. Thank you. Vega. Ooh. So people are going to get some points and money. All right. So D4. Ooh, it's on the strip.
So you're going to get 3.
Yep, I will get 3, 4. And then...
So you're only getting 4.
He's going to get a lot. Well,
no, he's only getting 4.
He only has one.
I have
lot to pay.
One lot.
Yeah, one lot.
Oh, you only have one lot?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you built twice.
I
that's
built
right.
2 casinos.
That's still pretty good money, though.
Yeah.
And you'll also get a point.
Oh, and I do get a point.
And then you have 1, 2 lots.
And I think I have 3 now. Yep.
1, 2, 3 lots for you.
Thank
and
you.
2 lots for me.
Alright, I'm going to build 12 million. I'm going to build on that D4. And I'm going to build a purple.
A purple on the D4.
Purple's going to be purpular.
Purple is popular.
I couldn't resist because I'll get paid for if it's to draw purple and I'll get paid if it's a strip.
I know.
I don't want to do anything else. Not yet.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I had to sit my pants.
Another Sphinx! Alright, so purple will get something. Alright. So I get C7, which is over here. Alright, so
I'll
that's
get 6
purple.
million.
So you're getting 4
Plus 2, because I have 2 lots.
5, 6.
I will get 1 point.
And I am getting 1, 2, 3. And then you are getting just the 1, and you are getting 3. No, you're getting 2. 'Cause green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 15. Really?
Actually, could I get a 10?
A 10? You're gonna be big. You just want Elvis.
Tattoo.
Mixed up.
There's a hunk of
sorry.
a hole in your pocket.
Alright. Feel lucky.
Do ya?
Do you, punk? Do you? I wonder if it tells you how many of each color there are.
I'd imagine there's 9. Can't be more than that, can they?
Maybe not. That makes sense.
Because there should be as many cards
Yeah.
as there are spaces.
Good point.
Cool.
I ordered pizza, by the way. It might be what it is.
Oh.
I wouldn't think it would be here that soon, though.
The
Like,
deadbolt, I think, is locked, so
you want
beware. Oh, and you have Mill over there.
Alright.
Told you the deadbolt was locked.
Yep.
One of these.
One of these days.
It's the one that looks like a house key.
Really?
Well, you know, they've got like that hexagon,
Yeah.
like as opposed to like the crap. There's like a bunch of little padlock keys on there for the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, trying to let you in. I don't know.
I just walk around to the other door and be like, "Come over here."
Oh, I got it. Sorry.
She had one of those keys for like 6 months. She lived here.
Well, yeah.
So I'm like, it's the
Out
one
of sight, out of mind. What are you gonna do?
What you buy?
I'm gonna be daring.
Yep, there are 9 of each.
Yeah. I don't know who has the most money.
I only have 6 million.
I've only got to bet 5, but I need to bet 5. So I'm gonna bet.
She's got 15.
So I'm gonna bet against her.
Okay.
At her place. Because I'm gonna bet 5.
Yeah, and she can't refuse, so
Okay.
good luck. 10.
10.
Yep,
Yes!
Nice. No.
Where'd my money go?
So how does that work though if it's a pay double? Because if you don't have double to pay,
She can't.
She just pays as much as she can.
okay.
Then you literally just pay as much as you can and you call it good. But that gives me exactly what I need. That gives me 20 mil. So I.
But like, if you're being careful
build.
and you're like, I'm gonna bet 2, you could win 4.
Okay. So you're building a 6.
I'm building here at the 6.
E6.
Yep, I'm going to build up the 6 and I'm going to go.
Ooh, changing the color.
Yes, well, like I'm going to have purple and not. I'm going to
Makes
have
sense.
green in this one.
Diversify.
Yes, I'm going to diversify.